Hello, 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 chaps. It's turn 60, a nice round number. And this army got stuck here because of these attacks, which killed the province defence, which was the only thing patrolling. And then he also sent in some air elementals, which killed his own ghouls afterwards. So that's very annoying because for some stupid reason, that cancels army movement. Now, in my opinion, if an army is moving out of a province, that should count as patrolling for the purposes of taking part in battles that occur in that province, in the magic phase anyway. It's a bit like if I'm moving from this province to this province and they cloud trapeze someone in here, it completely stops movement. They don't even move here or here, they just stay there. I think that's a stupid mechanic as well. But oh well. So if he's going to be annoying like that, I might have to attack him here as well. That's actually... It's still a stupid idea for the reasons I mentioned before. That's why I decided, though, to do that. But, oh well, what can you do? I'm just going to have to slowly go after this province, even if it takes me a while. So, he has cast Fata Morgana, which is why I now can't see anything in his provinces except these, except in this one, and it's also why there's indie flags over here. And someone has dispelled, probably Atlantis, has dispelled Seas of Ice. So these trapped forces are finally unleashed. Items. So I found this turn when I was gearing my chappies up that I was actually very short on items, specifically armor items, and a bit short on boots. And the reason why being short of armor items is particularly bad is because I only start out with this, which is quite bad. The map movement penalty especially is quite bad. In general, it's quite punitive. It's okay protection, but everything else about it, the defense, the encumbrance, you want to counter. So I'm forging all sorts of armor. I think almost everyone in this province is forging something now. What else am I planning? Well, I'm trying not to spend so many fire gems, because I was looking at spell lists again, and actually there are some pretty important fire spells in here. Where is it? Here, End of Culture. And this is a very good spell, which I should be planning on casting. And it's a bit foolish of me to have not planned towards that at all. And to have... I don't think I've actually wasted the fire gems I've spent so far. Maybe some of them were unnecessary. But generally I actually like the gear I've done so far. So... What else am I planning on this turn? Well, Hinnom is dead. Oh yes, that's an important thing. Hinnom, this was his last major province. I think he had like 4 candles here and 2 candles here. Now he has 0 here, obviously. And I have 3 there. So my dominion just finally completely flooded in and he's gone. And he moved his army here, but it's going to disappear. Armies do that, so he attacked on this turn, but now it's leaderless and is going to dissipate, which means all of its loot disappears as well, unfortunately. And it'll take me a while to take down this fort, especially since Mashaka might actually attack this region. Fortunately, I think what he was planning to actually do was cross this river with it. I think the fact that it moved here does suggest that it was going to go this direction, and the reason for that is, of course, so that it can just go for my cap. That's how you beat people. So now he can't do that because the river's in the way. So I'm very pleased about that. What else? Well, Atlantis is going to be pleased that Seas of Ice is gone. Now he can continue to fight. It looks like he had a lot of forces left on land anyway. Or no, he's actually making idols of sorcery and teleporting them onto Pythium. So I am reliably informed. And... that, well, Roos, his army's big, and he attacked me in many places this turn. So it's time to have a look at what that involved. So Roos attacked me with some unimportant forces. That's Hinnom's last gasp before he got Dom killed. That's nothing. So a transformed dragon chased away the Coonies from that cave. That doesn't really matter. And 24 of them actually survived, which is nice. Our forces defeated the attacking force from Mashaka. Let me have a look at how this happened. Oh yes, I was hoping that he would fight Jojo. Incidentally, he said that he liked this this name, but he actually didn't know who Jojo was. So the meme has kind of fallen flat. I guess not completely flat. It was fine until I tried to explain it. Haha, Jojo. Haha, anime memes. Who likes anime? But yeah, so deep. I had to cringe. This is a cringe moment. Maybe it was always cringe, but oh well. So he did what he was going to do. This guy is planning on casting a few fire elementals. 22 damage on the first hit with the Picus's axe of rulership. Causes a chest wound, which is a bit odd. And it looks like dragons don't have arms. I mean, this looks like an arm to me, but maybe it's just a foreleg. Which is ironic. So we hit him twice for a huge amount of damage, then he routs. And because he's a dragon, he's able to fly away safely. But that was pretty effective. I liked that. Now over here, we actually killed a transformed dragon on the other side of this river. So the fact that it was over here does lend credence to the idea he was heading for my cap. And I also feel a bit smug for predicting that this province might get attacked and sending the Dione here with some nice stuff to attack with. Iron Skin, Flying Shield, and unfortunately he didn't have flying boots, so a lot of these troops die. Yeah, those Shikome are just instantly dying to fire shield. Very sad to see. But then he comes in, deals quite a bit of damage. This guy's half HP. And then he attacks again. You know, 2 smashes. This is a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. So that chap is dead. This is funny. Because transformed giants, they're big sacks of HP with nice paths. And nice gear in this case, but their skill is quite bad, and so is their magic resistance and their morale. So, our PD decided to cast Frighten. And there you have it. He's routing. Quite good stuff, quite good. Unfortunately, this demon priest didn't hit gold in the same way. We also got beaten here, and yeah, here is we get to see an example of the Phantasmal Knights in action, the Phantasmal Province Defense. What else? Well, it's just PD, and this guy kills it all, no problem. Not really an interesting. I guess it's fun to watch. Let's show you. And Body of Flames, also Repel. Repel does 1 damage. These guys have 1 HP, so Repel completely eradicates them very easily. You can see how they just walk up and then they can't. They just can't. They're just getting repelled. It's quite funny. And I had him scripted to cast spells, so that's why he's throwing out Immolation and Falling Fires. So definitely a lethal character. Being ungeared, he did actually run out of... He did fall unconscious a bit, but that's okay. He did his job. Now hopefully he doesn't get Mind Hunted. He's only got 17 magic resistance, so he could easily... Actually, Mind Hunt, I heard the other day that Mind Hunt doesn't instantly kill Dione. It just puts them on 1 HP on the ghost form, so I shouldn't have worried about it so much. But yes, on to... Is this interesting? Have we talked about the interesting stuff against this guy? No. He actually seduced a Dione. This was very surprising. So he has the Nethgul, which is a mod artifact. The Nethgul is a star spawn, which means some kind of aboleth or illithid, like Lovecraftian astral mage sort of thing. I don't really know what it means. But it autocasts spells regardless of what its bearer is doing. So that's why you're seeing Mind Burn being thrown out. And this is the fort. This is the fort... well, I'll just show you the fort, actually. It's this fort, which I decided to lightly patrol. Unfortunately, we did actually win the battle, technically. But it was still quite painful. So I have these chaps just scripted to cast spells, and then I think I left them on cast spells. What I should have done would be hold or cast a spell ×5 and then attack monsters. That would have been much better. And you'll see why. So he's starting to cast Soul Slay, and our magic resistance is not that great. It's only 17. I didn't script them to cast Iron Will either. I mean, in fairness, the Nethgul is quite a random thing. I can't really be blamed for not predicting it. And yeah, it also casts Blink, which is quite amusing. And this battle's a bit slow, sorry about that. And it's also casting Enslave Mind, as you can tell. Blimey, that is a pretty cancerous noise. Let's actually, yeah, let's turn down the sound. I've just turned down the sound a lot, so that should be more tolerable. So this chap has been mentally enslaved, and he's routed from the Dione Sphere. That's why he's retreating in this direction. So he gets one of my Amano Jarkus. Then I think he actually routs. But while he's routing, the Nethgul still casts spells and seduces a Dione. Yeah, he blinks back towards us, and then casts yeah, he blinks all the way back towards us. Yeah, and then this Dione gets mentally enslaved and routs because they're HP routed. So what happens? He cuts through. He sidles past the Amano Jarkus and escapes. And this giant has only just managed to retreat despite routing for so long because of the Nethgul blink. And it looks like these guys were, yeah, they were chasing the guy they used to be a bodyguard for. That's kind of funny. You have bodyguards and then they end up attacking you because you're a traitor. So on the map, I can't see the Dione. This is where Karim, the transformed giant, retreated. I don't see a Dione in any of these surrounding provinces. So their morale is not completely amazing. So they may have he may have died on the retreat. I mentioned it to the guy playing Mashaka and he said, huh, yeah, that was pretty cool. So he may have just not admitted that the Dione died on retreat. I don't know. Maybe the ghost form doesn't die on retreat, or can't, or something. I don't know. Whew, well, that was a long amount of jabbering. So this army, as before, has a Heat Aura Bless, and Mashaka has good fire mages, and as we've seen before, Koani die a lot to fire. So I have a Raincaster. These, now that I have the water boosters, these little guys can actually, these little witches, the water witches, can actually cast, they can cast rain, or healing rain or whatever, and that counters fire and heat aura to a significant extent. So I'll be doing that. I don't yet have the really good stuff of Firefend, battlefield wide. That's what I really want. Hey, armor negating weapons. That's cool. Oh, it only affects the caster. It's still cool, but I thought it was like a unit enchantment that you could cast on people. Oh well. Inferno Warriors. Fire Shield, that's not amazing. Tower of the Heavens. 500 gold. 5 temple checks each month. Friendly provinces lose around... Oh my goodness. So this is the Tower of Babel. The dominion of the caster will be greatly increased. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is amazing for blood hunting. And just in general. £500? Like, damn. You know what I was saying about End of Culture? I might just cast this instead. Except that it... Ooh, air random. I can totally cast that. I mean, fire air random, like fire air crosspath. I mean, I'm sure people can cast that with their pretender gods, but that's not a common crosspath. That's a really nice spell. Sorry, I just got distracted and started rambling. So yeah, I'm forging loads of items, including the nature boots that give you reinvigoration and let you walk faster, and including just some generic armor that's better than the heavy samurai armor. Try not to spend fire gems because there's some globals that are nice, and I think I always neglect globals quite a lot. And the last thing to say about this turn is that yeah, Mashaka has, as you might have noticed just now, Mashaka has cast the Eyes of God. So if I can change my windows, okay, I'm going to remove that and add, let's see, display capture, game capture, window capture. I'm going to show you a graph. Aha, this looks like just the ticket. And yes, this is someone, Mashaka has posted this in the game and said, if there's any doubt as to who's going to win, it's this guy. Look out, Yomi. And there I am, right at the top. So huge gem income. You can see how I sort of vultured it off Hinnom, who was actually on par with me for gems. Especially early on, he was ahead. So I'm now huge leader for gems, although is kind of catching up as well. Says he's actually behind me. He's ahead of me on army count, and so is Cetus, which is not surprising because I'm losing as many Koani as I'm gaining. The other measure is province count. So you can see that I've taken a bit of a hit recently, which is odd. I thought I was actually increasing recently, but never mind. Has... Where's tail? So here's He loses out fairly significantly and goes down to here, all the way down to here, and Ulm is up here. And then they switch places again, and Ulm is kind of down in the doldrums here, while is actually second place. It's quite a weird stuff. Is spamming Ermalus and their Sacred Beast Cavalry. So that's enough of that. Let's remove this and go back to game capture. Is it going to work? Yep, there we are. Bit of a long video. So yes, hopefully he'll permit me to leave this province. Maybe I need to patrol for a turn on top of the province, but then he might not cast it. He might expect me to waste my time like that. So I would rather continue to just try to keep moving out of it. And if he wants to spend his gems on these not very effective measures, then so be it. In fact, I might patrol with these cheeky chappies, and with any luck, you know, so the most valuable stuff, the Shikomes and the Dione, can escape while these chaps continue to patrol. I'm fine with that. Should be the best of both worlds. And as before, gold income is still ahead of expenses, so I'm continuing to build temples and mages. In fact, I really want to catch up on mages. Although my death income is kind of struggling to meet demand now, so I might have to sell my earth gems to Atlantis for death. I think he offered that, but that's turn 60, and I'm still not attacking. I'm still not organising myself and getting myself into gear over here, and the reason for that is very simple. I should have these patrolling actually. Should have these guys patrolling with some with the good mages. Now they're actually too good. Infantry, not mages. Just to be on the safe side, I'll have these guys patrol. Because he's bound to attack me with something vicious next turn, isn't he? I'll put them on advance and cast spells. So, yeah, that's turn 60. See you chaps next time. Oh, and I'm also empowering two blood mages. Two new blood mages. So my blood is starting to rack up pretty nicely. You can never have too many rings of the warrior and stuff like that. The Throne of Death has been claimed. Still getting gems off these guys. And I found another magic gem site, the Glen of Verdant Greenery over here. But I'm no longer site searching with them because it's time to finally escape from this lake. So So there you have it. That's turn 60. Toodles. Hello, 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 chaps. It's turn 61, and this must be the most busy turn so far. So I shall try to not go crazy. I geared everyone until I ran out of proper gear to put on them. Maybe I could still give someone this, but yeah, no big battles happened, but I think they're about to, or soon going to. So I empowered those two guys in blood, like I mentioned. I researched Conjuration 7 and Thaumaturgy 4. So let's have a look at what that does. So Thaumaturgy 4 doesn't really give me anything important right off the bat that I'm going to use. It's just nice to... It would be nice to have Auspex, but I'm too busy fighting wars to use it. Conjuration 7, though, is quite important, because I can use that to summon someone. Again, actually, these big summons are something I can't use right now. Horde of Demon Hags might be interesting, but I'm using all of my death gems for battles right now. So, goodness, this is confusing. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just start with what happened this turn. So, has reclaimed claimed, or maybe reclaimed is more likely, a throne. We upgraded to 2 Hanyas in this province. Our Dione over here got attacked. I think he was on this province, like we expected, but he survived, luckily. We copped 2 scries on this province. I don't know, is a scrying message what you get? It was actually in this province, I guess. Is scrying the message that you get when they're mind hunting? I think it must be. So we got Arnold and Fanon, so that's nice. I think at this point he probably... I mean, this guy's fooling around with all sorts of things, so he probably has abilities to heal afflictions, but it's still nice to mess with him. It's still nice to have that result. Summoning a whole bunch of Mound Kings just to ferry people around. Exobothia, the ghouls attacked again, and our 2 Shura Koeni forces defeated them easily, but unfortunately, in order to do that, I had to leave them on patrol again. So all of my important guys escaped, but these guys are kind of important too. It would be nice if they could escape as well. If they can't escape, then I might actually have to send someone in to save them. I might have to sort of quickly send in a Dione all the way over here, like my prophet even, or someone. I actually hadn't thought of that yet, because he's got this army here. He's definitely going to attack, and hopefully I managed to escape with these guys. Otherwise I've kind of abandoned them. I mean, who will I have available? I'll have these guys. Problem is, will I have any darkness casters available? Like this guy I'll have. And he is my prophet, so I could use him. But again, that would be a risk. So this might be a big shame if I lose 200 Koeni for nothing. Blood hunting, still pretty good now. Loads of crippled units dying, but that doesn't really matter. It's just these guys, I think. Taking control of Ragdan and this one. So I'm just going to lay siege to this and stay there for 3 gold income a turn. Why not? And here I've put down 10 PD. So that's 31 gold per turn. Again, not huge. Gold situation actually was bad. Last turn I got excited and trained loads of people. I actually had to cancel one of them this turn. And I think in one of these provinces, yeah, this province I wasn't able to build a temple, so he's just going to move over here. These 2 Hanyas are just here in case the province gets raided. But let's have a look at the battles. So the Blightlands, I raided the Blightlands, and it's nothing special, it's just killing PD. Pirena, which is this one, this fort. He just attacked with a Buddha. He didn't manage to gem burn me or anything. It looks like Ilwinter changed the gem burning rules, so my Dione didn't cast darkness, because he's a clever boy. So no real loss here, but then again, Buddhas are pretty cheap. I think Rhino Clan warriors are nothing special either. Small squinting eyes. That's funny. Rhinos, because they're rhinos. Now this is a bit annoying. This is this lake right here, and because it's a nature mage, I think they cast a spell that allows them to breathe water. Oh no, it's actually this ring. They have this ring. So they don't have it on many people, just this one dragon. And they've got a couple of fire gems, but those aren't going to be usable underwater. So they just cast Fearsome Visage and kill some PD. Nothing special. Personal regen as well because of the nature 2. So a fairly tough cookie, but nothing a Dione couldn't kill quite casually. I think. Laria, so we defeated this guy. This is an example of what I say about being quite easy to defeat. Unfortunately, he did escape quite easily. Because he can just fly. When he gets injured, he can just fly out. Okay, so he actually routed to Wailing Winds. Maybe he took some damage as well. I could check. No, it doesn't look... Oh yeah, we hit him in melee a couple of times. So, actually, where's the... How do you view the unit list? Where is it? Oh my god, why is it like this? What? Okay, here we are. Pandu... What the fuck? Right. Why does he have death gems? Did he have death gems? I didn't think he had death gems. What the hell is that? I didn't see any death gems on him. Why would he have death gems? Why does he have death paths? What? Dementia causing a moment of inaction. Who the hell has dementia? Why does someone have dementia? Dementia causing a moment of inaction. What? I'm so confused. That there's no mages here that have dementia. What? Dementia causing... I'm just baffled. What? Never mind. Anyway, the point is he escaped from here into this province. So now this province has 2 transformed dragons and 2 transformed giants in it. So he has 3 of these dragons in total and these 2 giants. I think it's the same guys that have been running around before. Just this setup. So they have good protection, regen, HP, resistances, and they've got this nice attack as well. But something to notice is that, and they've got good reinvigoration, very good reinvigoration. This is before... Oh, he actually can't cast Earth Power. Neither of them can. But still, this is good reinvigoration. Problem is, they don't have very good morale, magic resistance, defense skill, or attack skill. So my Dione, I'm sure, will defeat these guys pretty easily. This guy has fire gems. So, what will happen if he now raids more further in? Next turn, I'll have these lots in this province. Hopefully, the Shuras will manage to turn up. Otherwise, I might be a bit screwed. But oh well. In fact, I might have to cast. I might have to change these scripts to have Horde of Skeletons first, just to be on the safe side. Or I could just spam Terrify. That would probably, if I spammed Fear spells, that would probably get rid of them. But whatever. So Horde of Skeletons and Banefire there, and hopefully some Kooni. Nothing patrolling on this fort because it's a fort. You don't need to defend forts against raiding, not really, especially if there's too much unrest to train a mage there. Here we have a full army along with some thugs that are scripted to attack large monsters, and I geared everyone so no armor for him. This guy's got flying boots and is very well kitted out. Look at all these little attacks. That's pretty funny. Maybe I overdid it, but whatever. What am I going to put in a misc slot? Nothing. I've run out. And even if he goes back here into this one, he'll run into water elementals. If he goes up here, he'll still run into this Dione, scripted to attack on the first turn with 2 attacks, 2 smashes. If he goes here, darkness, and then this guy with a hell sword. If he goes here, he'll run into my Pretender God and the Ring of Returning Darkness casting Hanya. So he didn't attack this province last turn, and the reason I'm putting people even in this province, my Pretender God specifically, is that I don't know why his army is here. Because maybe he was depending on Seas of Ice, but why would he go this way? Does he have to go this way? Why doesn't he just... Like, why didn't he attack me this way if he was going to attack me this way? Or why didn't he attack me this way if he was going to attack me with this way? And if he was going to use Seas of Ice to cross this river, then I think he was here last turn. So why wouldn't he just go there? Or maybe there? Why go here, which has fewer options? I mean, maybe here, I don't know, I just feel like he might have the ability with a whole bunch of pills of water breathing, like the ones I used to go underwater. They also let you cross rivers, for obvious reasons. So he might actually be about to cross this river with this army. Otherwise, I don't know why he's here. And the idea has been put into my head by Seas of Ice. Also by the way he's raiding this lake. That seems like a useful target if you're heading towards my capital. So yeah, I find it very suspicious. And that's why the Darkness Pretender God combo is going to be here with Berserk and Dark Power, bringing this up to 38 attack skill and Awe, and all sorts of nice stuff like that. I'm sure they won't be able to kill him. Not even Lion Warriors. Maybe Banefire, actually. Banefire might screw him over. They could actually have loads of mage support. The good thing is, though, that Decay won't have any effect because he's not old enough. He's young at only 1,000 years, and the damage of Banefire is what? I mean, this guy will have... It's armor piercing, it's not armor negating, like people think. It's 55 armor piercing. So this guy will have like 30 protection at least, maybe 33. So each Banefire cast will do 40 damage, which is a lot of damage. But I'll be regenerating a lot as well. I'll be regenerating only 20% per round, which is like 32. So I can be hit by Banefire almost every round and survive it. I'm also unlikely to take Afflictions because I have this, plus regen, Affliction resistance. So we'll see. Hopefully he does, and hopefully my Pretender God just destroys the whole army by itself. That would be epic. I'm also fooling around with... did I mention these? Like the Dione over here got mind hunted when he was here. He survived, which was very lucky because his magic resistance is only 17 or something. That might not be the right one. Doesn't matter. They're all the same. We killed two... We feeble-minded two Astral Mages when this chap was in this province, when this trio was in this province. So that's nice. And yeah, I'm going to send an Astral Mage here with the Shade Mail combo, an Astral Mage here. And I'm also sending a little army here with another Astral Mage. It's getting quite confusing, all of these Astral Mages. This guy is coming here, just in case they mind hunt these two Shuras, which could definitely happen. They don't have good magic resistance. So if they do that, then at least I'll have... I don't really want to use this guy to try and save the lives of these guys, though. Because I feel really bad about this army. 200 Kooni and two fairly valuable commanders. This guy is extremely valuable. Getting stuck in this palisades next to his capital. I might have to send reinforcements, or I might have to just cut my losses and let two Shuras and a whole load of Kooni die. It's not amazing. It's kind of dicey. I mean, of course, if I win the battle... then Rus is truly screwed, but Mashaka is the real threat. And if Rus gets screwed, Mashaka is the one that's going to invade him in the near term. It depends, really. I mean, Rus is looking pretty strong at the moment. He's raiding me. He's got this big army, but we'll see. I'm sending out my own raids, like Living Fire in this province, some Kooni in this province, and yet another army in this province with Darkness Wailing Winds. That's some demons, the usual stuff. And also this chappie with Bloodlust, and he's also got a Coral Blade just to heal up a bit to 15. Will he actually heal up? I think, do inanimate undead heal? Never heals. So he has to be in a laboratory to heal, and I think he has to be in a laboratory at the end of his turn rather than the start. So giving him this is actually kind of pointless. Damn. He's screwed. Like 22 protection is okay. 5 fire resistance isn't enough to save you against Firestorm, and that's what I'm kind of worried about. So, I might have to actually... This guy's researching, so I might have to just make another fire resistance item for him. So this has fire resistance 10. This has fire resistance 15. And he'll keep him alive, potentially. Oh, this is nice. This is big. I could give him this. It would be useful if I ever bring these Communion guys into battle. Actually, they can cast their own fire resistance, but whatever. Mashaka is big on fire, so that's why I'm thinking about it. But yeah, hopefully this should keep him alive, because he's got the Athame. He can cast Bloodlust. Oh yeah, and this army also has anti-magic, which is a bit unusual. That's the only one I'm doing anti-magic for currently. Right. But yeah, I have a lot of these little armies, and because I'm insisting on bringing Darkness and Wailing Winds with every army, it's very, very expensive on my death gems. They're all getting drained, and I've actually run out of 3 different gem types. I'm not actually close to running out of nature gems. The reason it's low this turn is because I'm spending 45 empowering her, because then she'll be nature 4, and I can give her the Ring of Wizardry to bring her up to nature 5 death 2, which is enough to actually use Conjuration 7 since I researched it, and she'll be able to summon something. Where did it go? Okay, it's actually a Conjuration 6 and Lamia Queens. I don't even know what Lamia Queens do, but I think they're good. People always talk about them, so I'll find out. For once, I actually can't be bothered to look it up. The only gem types I'm actually stocking up on are Astral, Earth, and Fire gems. Earth. When I get a few more of these Earth mages from this province, I'll be able to give them Earth boots and maybe forge some more Earth boots or more Astral gear. Golems like Communion Matrixes, this kind of thing. Speaking of which, I was planning on maybe I should make these guys Communion slaves for him, but I feel like I don't need Communion slaves. He's only at Air 4, but he can still cast Fog Warriors with an extra gem, and he has 29 HP because he's getting it boosted by the Coral Blade and this mod item, and he also has regen and Affliction Resistance 1. So I find it unlikely that he'll get feeble-minded, and even if he does get feeble-minded, I have this adventurer from an event, and she's moving back here, and she has a luck crown, so she should be pretty safe. And I can use her to heal feeble-mind. So, goodness, that's a busy turn. I've got lots and lots of... Look at all these arrows. Loads and loads of different things going on. Did I find any sites? Doesn't really matter at this point. I just like finding sites. This is annoying because it might have healed his feeble-minded mind hunters. Killed 2 scouts. I think I already mentioned that. Still getting gems from these diseases in this fort. I rearranged my research items a bit. Getting 770 is pretty good when you're moving all of your mages around to fight. Well, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them. What else is there? I can't really invest the troops to siege down this fort at this point, because too much is going on fighting Mashaka. I don't want to siege it down just for him to kick me off anyway. Oh goodness! So I'm sending just a basic Dione underwater because I wouldn't. He probably won't keep the transformed dragon there, and if he does, this guy can probably fight the dragon and any PD at the same time, so that's fine. He might actually move this army underwater if he has loads of pills of water breathing. That would just be funny, to be honest. I mean, it would be terrible because then he could completely mess with me. Like, he could menace my capital and this place at the same time, and this palisades, which is easy to siege down. All sorts of things at once. That would be really horrible if he did that. I'd be put on the ropes. But then again, I'm moving an army down here. I might be able to get land off him. And it's not really worth commenting too much on this. Another thing is that with Earth Boots and the Ring of Wizardry, I can use any Earth 1 mage to cast... I can cast Troll King's Court. And that gives me another Earth mage to cast Maws of the Earth or whatever else I want to. And that's quite nice. I can cast... and it gives me some good troops. Actually, no, they have fire vulnerability. So that's a totally retarded garbage idea. And I won't do that. But I'm sure there's something I can do, like... I don't know. Damn it, that's annoying. I guess I can't do that. What can you even do? I always find I have huge piles of Earth gems in my games. People say Earth is the most valuable path, but what exactly do you do with it? I mean, can't summon trolls. Maws of the Earth is nice, but I'm not playing Agartha. My Dione are more important for other spells. And maybe I'm just underestimating Maws from the Earth and Earth elementals. I don't know. They don't have resistances. The Earth Elementals will get fatigued out by their heat aura. Ugh. I mean, I must be dumb, because everyone else says Earth gems are good. But I always feel puzzled. I mean, Armor of Knights is good. Great Swords of Sharpness is good, but there has to be more to it than that, surely. Anyhow, so that's the turn. I'm stockpiling Astral and Earth. I guess the Astral I might end up alchemizing just to keep up with the other gem types. Fire, obviously, I have those nice globals I want to do. An Alteration, I think it was. Where is it? Thaumaturgy, actually. End of Days and End of Culture. Very nice. But Earth and Astral, kind of puzzling. So that's turn 61. Sorry if that was a bit of a rant, but see you chaps next time. Hello chaps. It's turn 62, and all of my preparations to defend this area were for naught, because he didn't attack over here, he attacked up here. And there was no temple here, so he hasn't actually destroyed a temple yet. Also, I forced away some of his raiders in this province, and this province. Over here he actually killed 100 Kooni, which is embarrassing, before running away due to Wailing Winds. And the other battles that I won, like Spring Spires, he also ran away due to Frighten, so he didn't die. All of these guys, I checked their name in battle and then checked for their name on the map, and I think they all survived. Deep Waigor, what happened was we had a showdown, and my Dione walked up to this guy, then this guy just routed because of fear immediately. So I still haven't killed anything of his, except like minor PD and a Buddha and something, and Buddhas cost 215 gold, so it doesn't matter. So he raided up here with the Transformed Dragon, and so far I haven't really lost any troops except Kooni's and Toshiro the Dione that he's been moving over here. I don't know if he got enslaved and therefore lost all of his paths and went into like a unit. I think he might have to cast Gift of Reason on him, which is why he's back here. And then he might not use him in our war anyway. He might just keep him at home and use him as like a bigger Death or Earth Mage than he has natively. Dionys are pretty high path mages, so he might have to use him that way. So he might even use him to summon Wraith Lords. Now, something that this patch does, that Dominion's Enhanced does, is it increases the gem cost of Foul Vapors. And what that does, it's not about having to spend an extra gem. It's about the fact that Nature 2 mages can no longer cast an extra gem to cast Foul Vapors. You actually need a Nature 3 mage to cast it. So I am having to bring her along with the Ring of Wizardry, which is a fantastically valuable artifact. So if this army of his moves into this province, it will probably get totally annihilated, because I'll have Darkness and Foul Vapors going up. Then eventually I'll cast Wailing Winds on the last turn. I probably need to change this just so to make sure he doesn't cast Wailing Winds. What does this do? Hey, that's nice. You get extra precision, and you know why extra precision? Oh, he doesn't have the gems. Precision would be nice for Banefire actually, but that doesn't matter. Let's just try some Sulphur Haze just for fun. Hopefully he waits until the last one to cast Wailing Winds. I don't want them routing. I don't want the enemy routing until they have some poison inflicted on them. So this could be a very nasty trap with my Pretender God and some nice mages, including Foul Vapors, which he won't be expecting. The only problem is that the two ideas I have here is one, that his Lion Warriors won't really be able to attack my Pretender God because of Awe and Repel, especially Repel and Darkness. Like I keep on saying. Like I keep on bloody saying. Some of them, though, have weirdly boosted, like, okay, this guy has the Banner of Courage. No, the Banner of the Warrior. Banner skill gives you +4 attack skill. So these guys now have 20 attack skill. And so they might be able to hit my Pretender God. Repel will still work against that, but defense skill might be impaired. The other concern is that this... Is it this guy? Yeah, he also is... Let's yeah, after casting Strength of Gaia, he's actually Nature 4, which means he can then cast he could probably cast a battlefield-wide poison resistance spell. Another thing about using Foul Vapors here is that these guys have huge HP, regen, and also poison resistance. So they are not going to be affected by Foul Vapors at all. And also the Clockwork Warriors, well, they'll just die to exhaustion. They're in exhaustion, so they don't matter at all. But the Lion Warriors might get buffed. They're the only guys that are going to die to Foul Vapors. That's pretty valuable, but also the Buddhas will die. There's 7 Buddhas here. And they don't have nature paths, so they're vulnerable to poison. Hopefully he doesn't have a nature poison resistance spell scripted. Like, I think he might, but I mean, the question is, will he bother to script that? Because he has no real reason to anticipate that I'll cast Foul Vapors, unless he saw me posting in the Discord asking about how it works earlier. So if he does, that'll be painful. Obviously, with both my Pretender God here and the Ring of Wizardry, losing this battle will be quite devastating. And I think I might still beat him in the long term if I lose this battle and have to call back my Pretender God and lose the Ring of Wizardry. But boy, would it be a devastating loss. I would really struggle. So that's really all I have to say about him. I also have this army down here that he's now seen because of I raided a province with it. And he knows now that I have anti-magic and fog warriors down here. And I'm going to be combining it with these guys, and they'll be heading towards Mashaka proper, or alternatively they might just try and take control of this area. Fortunately, Atlantis is busy fighting down here. We got a spy on this this battle down here. He's in a grudge match with Pythium. Is it? No, it's Ermor. We're early age. So this army, I don't have to worry about Atlantis raiding me on the coasts here probably, and you know, I could just try and take this area, or I could actually threaten a sort of death march towards his capital. Or I could just go up here and take Zion, which is still a high-value province. A lot of its citizens got eaten by Hinnom, but if I go this way, then I might be able to trap this army and he won't be able to retreat, assuming he starts losing battles up here and wants to retreat or something. I don't know. If I lost battles, I wouldn't want to retreat. I'd want to turn it into just a lot of little raiding forces or something. So things are getting pretty confused. There's stuff going on all over the place. But I still don't know how to use Earth Gems. Something funny about Atlantis is he still isn't putting armor on his Basil Kings. He has loads of water mages though. He has water 6 in this army, so I will watch his career with great interest with this scout. And I don't really have anything else to say about Mashaka. Rus sent some more ghouls, but the province defense killed it. This guy is retreating, obviously, because there's nothing more for him to do here. He killed a Mound King with Mind Hunt, but now I have this guy in place, so he can defend against Mind Hunts. And we're going to storm this fort. It looks like Mashaka. I can't really use Kooni against Mashaka with very much effectiveness, because he just has so many thugs that can kill them very easily. But it looks like I can use Kooni against Rus very effectively, so I probably should be sending my Kooni against Rus instead of Mashaka, but Mashaka is the bigger threat. Rus, I feel like I've got his number. He hasn't even raided this province back. He's been sort of panicking. He lost that horrible battle over here as well. Horrible for him. So again, don't have much more to say about him. This province, can't take it back yet. I have various people scripted to retreat, and this is one of them, just in case he raids them. I should really have some defenders in this province, but he might move his whole army here, so I actually don't want to defend it. This guy has 21 magic resistance, so hopefully he survives being mind hunted. And that's about all there is to say. Did anything happen in the wider world? Well, blood hunting is still tootling along. Corpseman construction. So with the Tome of Igor Kernhelm, we actually get 13 corpses for 1 air gem, which is extremely good. A corpse, you know, it's some HP. That's really all it is. It's just a blocker that has shock. It has overcharged, and it has some resistances, and it's mindless, so it can't rout. Pretty nice for 1 air gem for 13 of them. I like that. The tome also gives Storm Power 5, so I might put this on my Pretender and cast Storm, just for like attack skill memes. Although, hang on, that would just remove a burning pearl from his misc slots, so it's pointless. What else is there to say? Well, I empowered her in nature, and I was going to summon a Lamia Queen, but then I looked at her paths, the Lamia Queen's paths, and they're just death, nature, water, and blood, which I already have plenty of access to anyway, so that doesn't matter. I guess the nature blood cross path would be nice to forge Armour of Thorns, because then I would use Armour of Thorns in this battle instead of risking the Ring of Wizardry. This Ring of Wizardry carrier is very, very togged up, including a Coral Sword to boost her HP, because I really don't want her to die. Personal regen and poison resistance. Maybe she can cast fire resistance too, in case he casts Heat from Hell or something. Howl could also be an option. He's quite likely to cast Howl himself, so that would be quite nice to have. Then again, casting Howl will it will put her unconscious, and putting her unconscious would make it harder for her to retreat if things start going wrong, and I want her to be able to retreat, so I don't know about that. What I really want is just purely defensive spells. Haste would be quite nice if I can gift it for the hair. End of Courage. I can't script her to retreat, because if you retreat off the... if you're a Foul Vapors caster and you retreat, that ends Foul Vapors. You have to be there on the battlefield. I guess I will cast Howl. There's never a reason not to go overboard with spells in a big battle that you anticipate. Actually, I won't cast Howl, I guess, because I don't have any nature gems, because I'm summoning an Ivy King instead of a Lamia Queen. At some point I ought to be empowering another Dionian Astral, probably. I think that's... except that then the enemy might cast Magic Duel against them. Especially Roos. That reminds me, I actually can't send these Astral Dione against Roos, because he can just Mind Duel them. I probably ought to give this guy Shade Mail as well. Well, I took a Shade Mail off him. I'm forging a lot of armour, just basic armour and stuff, this turn. Nothing really too drastic to say in that regard. Nothing fascinating going on. So, yeah, that's the end of turn 62. I said some big battles were about to happen, and all we got was anticlimactic raids. But hopefully he walks into this nasty trap in this province. I have a temple here, so he probably will want to take down the temple. But if he goes here, then I'll just be really confused as to what his army movement is. Because it went here, then here, then here, then here. It's like, what? What is going on? Anyway, that's turn 62. Didn't find any sites, but I think I just had people searching for sites as a way to tell them to wait one turn and then ask for new orders. Also, there's worldwide... someone's using some sort of effect to cure things worldwide. I don't know what that's all about. My prophet is getting his afflictions healed. Battle Fright doesn't matter because he's a prophet, but losing an arm is obviously important. So if he can get his arm back from her, that would be very nice. And then I'll have a 110 HP Dione to what's the word, dab on kids with. That would be nice. Very nice. Another thing I could do is actually raid this province just to reduce his retreating options. Let's see if he can actually get there. Yeah, this guy can actually get there in time. Now, what he might do is he might actually hang around in this province just to screw me over. I find that kind of unlikely. Blessing, Iron Skin, Summon Earth Power, Temper Armor, Soul Vortex. It would be nice to fit in a Fear spell, actually. Fear 8, I guess, is already okay, though. So yeah, he might get screwed. He'll probably raid this province, though, and I don't want to fight in this province, because I think he might move his army there. So, maybe I should just send someone capable of defending the province against raids. I'm not sure who that would be. Where's this guy going? He's going over here. I think I'll actually send both of these guys to this province. Then I'll boost the PD here. And hopefully his raider gets hit with a frightened spell. Are these guys? Yeah, they're both order skeletons times 5. And now I have some free, you know, some unused research items. Damn it, it's so annoying trying to shuffle all these research items around. Damn it, I thought I had someone else who could research. I guess this guy can research. Right, that's the end of the turn. Turn 62. So hopefully I really screw him over this time. He can't keep getting away with it, you know. I guess I could raid this place as well. The last guy I sent out a... this guy just died because there was too much PD here, but hopefully I can avoid this time by giving him some bodyguards. And also just casting Living Fire. Let's just cast Living Fire loads. 3 times. Instead of once. And let's also give him some bodyguards, like I said. Ah, now we can't get there because these guys are too slow. Damn it. If I go there by himself, he might die. What can I gear him with? There's nothing I can really gear him with to make him safe. Ugh, whatever. I'll just have him research. I guess that I'll use this as a research item too. Why not? 2+2 research, epic. So that's turn 62, and this video is too long, I bet. Hello chaps, it's turn 63. And as you can see, we lost the battle in Spring Spires, but our pretender escaped. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that before launching into the replay of the battle is because the replay is inaccurate. It actually shows my pretender dying, which, as you just saw, did not occur. So, in hindsight, this was a bit of a brainlet scheme, because well, firstly, of course he's going to cast poison resistance on these guys. Well, I guess I wasn't entirely wrong about that. He actually did only cast Serpent's Blessing after quite a few turns, so that worked quite nicely. I did get some damage out of that. I actually killed a lot of his mages with Foul Vapors, even though I think it only injured the Lion Warriors. So, all of the Dione died, and so did the Witch, carrying the Ring of Wizardry. The good news is that all of his mages fled the battle as well, so it was kind of a stalemate, and I don't think he picked up the Ring of Wizardry. I think he also didn't notice that I actually brought it in the first place either, because he remarked on the battle without remarking on me losing the Ring of Wizardry. So anyway, the reason why the scheme was a bit stupid was, well, firstly, Foul Vapors wasn't likely enough to work well enough to be worth risking the Ring of Wizardry. And secondly, I have these 2 geared guys to fight the Lion Warriors, which actually worked. But then I have these 2 guys with Darkness and Wailing Winds. He actually cast Wind of Death instead of Wailing Winds by accident, so that was dumb. Well, maybe he cast Wailing Winds in the actual battle, and he just cast Wind of Death in the replay, and that's why they're different. I have no idea. I thought I scripted him to cast Wailing Winds and not Wind of Death, but who knows. So anyway, what happened was, the Lion Warriors came round and killed these guys that just have Skull Staffs, because why wouldn't they kill them? They have enough numbers to surround them. So I don't know why I didn't predict that. I should have brought more bodyguards, or just waited to be more prepared. And here's an odd thing. So he's at 20 natural protection, and then he casts Boar Scale. And it doesn't actually increase his protection at all, which I find very strange. Anyhow. Foul Vapors is going off. I think this guy... Yeah, now he casts... Foul Vapors went off at the start of the battle, and he only just cast Serpent's Blessing. So if you look at, for example, the Prophet right here, the Prophet is actually diseased from Winds of Death. Damn, I actually should have cast Winds of Death a lot. I should have just cast Winds of Death. I don't know why I didn't just do that instead of faffing around with Foul Vapors. So yeah, stupid. This battle was stupid on multiple levels for me. So this guy actually didn't die that much to the poison. It was actually more the Wind of Death. Why does he only have 6 magic resistance? Wow. -3 Dominion. Oh, because he's a Prophet. Damn. Pretty painful to be in your enemy's dominion as a prophet. So the giants are fine. The lion warriors, let's actually click on a whole bunch of lion warriors just to see. You can see some of them are getting decayed, which is nice. Like this guy is now old and he has a couple of afflictions. Lost an arm and an eye, so this guy really can't fight. And you can see there's a bit of poison damage on him. You can see how these guys, a lot of them have little bits of poison. Not enough to kill them, but along with winds of death, you know, they did suffer a fair bit, I guess. So yeah, when the Dione that cast darkness died, his spell ended, and so we're no longer in darkness, which is not really something I thought about. So this guy now has 32 attack, and unfortunately I can't look at the very detailed battle logs to see how many repels work compared to how many fail to work against these lion warriors. They do only have 12 morale and 16 defense skill. I thought that wasn't very good, but I think when you're fully surrounded, even with a bit of awe, your repel actually does get harassed down. So repel is very strong, it can get harassed down. Not as much as defense gets harassed down, but still a significant amount. So they did manage to knock my king unconscious. And this guy also, he did fairly well, but eventually died. You can see how he's repelling a lot of attacks, but yeah, he just went unconscious just now. And Relief is trying to keep these clockwork soldiers from killing themselves with their own fatigue. It's not going to work though. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't see Repel because of all this fatigue stuff that's going on. So eventually in this replay they actually kill him. They turn him into bulk form and then they kill him. Oh, now he does have 25 protection. From Berserk, not from Boarskin. Very strange. I might have to cancel Boarskin. Or I might have to read its description again. No, it says +5. I won't bother casting it again though. I'll cast something else like... what's a good spell to cast on yourself? There actually aren't any, that's interesting. Apart from Hell Power, but that's not tempting to say the least. After seeing how hard a time what Hinnom had with it. So yeah, so if you look at the map, there's no one left in this province. And I think the moral of the story is that he didn't pick up the Ring of Wizardry. He didn't pick up any loot. He killed you know, some really valuable stuff of mine, both gems and mages, but he lost a lot himself. Like, these must have been a pain in the ass to mass, and 47 Lion Warriors is a pretty significant loss. He probably lost a couple more to bad morale in the retreat. They only have 16 with their experience, so yeah. Probably 1 or 2 died. And you can see that there's now 30 here and 30 here. So he has enough map movement to bring his forces together in any of these squares. And I don't know which one he will choose. He could also probably move them all into this one. Actually, no, the Highlands would prevent these guys from moving. So he might do a bombshell maneuver and attack me everywhere at once with them and just turn them into raiding parties. Or he might collect them all in one place. I think he'll probably collect them here or here and then go down here. I should send a raiding party into this province, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Don't know why I wouldn't. Pretty stupid idea not to. So this is just a small, not very high value raiding party. It might get clobbered if he moves everyone into this province. I don't think he will though. I think he'll try to move them into this province and then here to retreat and reinforce with these guys. It's hard to say what he's going to do. I'm moving a huge amount of geared Dione into this province though, because this is the high value province. He might decide to move everyone onto here, and this province is where I can recruit my astral mages, so I definitely want to unsiege it right now. It's taken too long already, so this is the force I'll have. Some chaff, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sort of 6, fully geared Dione, and he doesn't need the Ring of Returning. So they should be able to chop things up nicely. What else happened? Well, let's talk about Arus. Arus is once again using his fireballs to kill some of my Koani. He killed a Mound King and 49 Koanis, but he then lost the fortress anyway. There was no one inside it. Also, these air elementals that he sent didn't do anything. He injured a Mound King over here. There may have been Mashaka that did this. Now that I don't have the Ring of Wizardry anymore, I actually can't boost up to Nature 5 with these guys. I only have Nature 4. But that's enough to make the Boots of Callias the Druid, which is nice. Bloodslave income coming along like normal. Arus has cast yet another global enchantment, so now he has Fata Morgana, Whispering Winds, which is very nice, and Gale Gate and Rain of Gemstones. So my scout that I sent to attack this province, because it had no PDN, it actually did have PDN, and it was just his global that was lying to me. What else has occurred? So let's have a look at the other battles. Gilged, he sent the only Shugo just killed the Buddha that he sent here. Kamiya, my Dione, just killed some PD, nothing special about that. Exibothia, so this is funny because he sent all of... Roos has brought out his entire Mage Corps with, like, they all have loads of... Like, they have Alquils as well. It's quite funny. Let's have a look. Well, some of them have Alquils. Like, yeah, that guy has an Alquil, that guy has an Alquil. It's like the huge ball of stuff. Huge ball of chaff and mediocre mages. So I don't really need to worry about him too much. Like, sure, you can retake this province with over 100 unrest and 2 gem income. Kimri, so he sent 3 transformed giants to take this province off me. So he definitely outmatched the 2 skeleton spammers I sent. He is now the one who gets to besiege Ragadan. In the Verdant Steppe, managed to instantly kill his transformed dragon by just flying onto him and chopping him with these nasty vicious weapons. So that is a dead dragon. And I looked at the spell, it costs 25 fire gems to get these guys. So he can do that once a turn with his Eternal Pyre. I think he has Eternal Pyre. So he went back into this lake and took it back off me, which is a bit unsurprising. This is very embarrassing. The Hanyas, I didn't have them on advancing cast spells, so the Hanyas actually failed to attack. They failed to cast anything useful, and this guy just ate 150 Koanis. So that's a disaster. Very embarrassing as well. Forces were beaten by the defending forces of Mashaka, and yeah, he had enough forces here. This is just a little raid though. That's our scout that died to the invisible PD. Quite funny. And Ene Emru Umru. Where's this? This is my little army that I've brought together. And I'm actually pausing this army. I probably shouldn't pause it, but I was just looking at it, and it's such a mess. Like, it has 1 geared Dione to fight his thugs. And it's not amazingly geared, only with 19 protection, because this is a slightly dubious armor item. And it's like, if I run into enemy thugs, I have to hope that Thunderstrike and Petrify can deal with them. And maybe they would deal with them, but you know, maybe they wouldn't. And maybe Bloodlust plus Petrify would allow the Koani to kill these giants, and maybe Anti-Magic would help the Koani against Divine Shield, and then... yeah, I don't know about that. So I'm pausing the army while this Dione comes in with some more gems, and I'm building a laboratory here while they site search this province. And that'll allow me to gear all these Dione up a bit more thoroughly. Maybe I'll also bring one of these Dione back, because let's face it, I don't need Kiyotsune to be here. Let's give Manabu these items. Because I was thinking this turn, hey, I don't have enough flying boots for my Dione to just jump on top of people and instantly kill them on the first round against these raiders. Why don't I forge some more? And then I realised my flying Dione, my Air 2 Dione, you need Air 2 to make the flying boots, are actually not in a lab. I've sent out all my most valuable commanders into this army, and the army isn't even that amazing because it doesn't have enough counter thugs or thugs to kill the enemy thugs. So yeah, it can trounce enemy troops, but some of these transformed giants might really screw it over. So I'm going to be sending in which is exactly why this guy should stay with the army, so that it keeps having enough Dione with gear. And I'm forging a whole bunch of gear, mostly Boots of the Messenger, Burning Pearls, Black Servant just to ferry gems, Blue Dragon Scale Mail, Ice Helmet, Sword of Swiftness, Scutata Volturnus, that's a Shock and Grasp one, a Flesh Eater, Ring of the Warrior, Flesh Eater, Horror Helmet, Armor of Knights, Burning Pearl again, Ring of the Warrior again, Holger the Head, a Fire Sword. Why Fire Sword? What the hell? Terrible, terrible choice. Ring of Ensnaring Flames might be okay. I don't know, just to put on the Mound King, but then the Mound King's kind of liable. Yeah, I'll just make more Burning Pearls. Burning Pearls are nice. So this army is going to spend a turn boosting itself up a bit more. However, a lot of these troops are actually going to be moved back towards Rus, because as I've previously remarked, I kind of need Dione to fight Mashaka. Like, his troops, his thugs are just such a bane for my troops. Whereas Rus doesn't really have anything that eats my troops without penalty. So I can just flood Rus with my demons. That's what I'm finally going to do. So I'm moving 160 of these guys on these Mound Kings back this way. I'm also moving this army back towards Rus. And that's another 100 or so. I'll move them there actually. And these two forces are going to be moving towards Rus as well. I might add these guys. Yeah, I can't really. And yeah, that's about all there is to say for this turn. So this was not terrible. Mashaka, I think, still has the upper hold on me, but I caused a lot of damage to him. I also managed to catch one of his raiders finally. I've been counter-raiding his provinces a bit. If he attacks this province, he'll run into a very nasty shock, because there's going to be my Pretender, of course, and also a lot of water elementals from the Sea Kings, so that'll be good. I probably should give the Sea Kings some fire resistance. Otherwise they'll get killed by Heat Aura. Resist fire. I think resist fire would be a good choice here. And that's about it for this turn. Definitely not a very satisfying turn. He might also raid this province, so I can't really send these guys here under this guy's command, because they're very liable to just get killed. So I should probably send these guys raiding Rus, maybe raiding this province, because I don't want to run into transformed giants again. It's very painful every time it happens. I also ought to be counter-raiding this province just to be on the safe side. Maybe Yukikyo, he can try his luck. I think Yukikyo can try his luck against these enemies. Is he lifeless undead? He isn't. So I might actually give him an Athame and see how well... Nah, that's stupid. I'll just try his luck. Nah, I don't know. No, that's still stupid. In fact, Yukikyo can join this army. Because this army, I mean, he is a better leader than the Diones. Maybe Masatu should be joining that army as well. And we can have really good morale up there. Anyhow, so that's turn 63. Definitely not a good turn. Losing the Ring of Wizardry is a huge blow. Another thing I did is I alchemized loads of astral pearls. I turned them into nature gems to keep making nature boots. I also turned them into 30 air gems to empower this guy, and then I changed my mind about empowering him, because I'm going to pause this army, and then they can forge some air boots next turn. Also, if I win this battle, which I definitely should, when I win this battle, I'll have some air boots off these guys too, if I need to rearrange things, like this guy has air boots. So that is turn 63. Definitely a bleak turn for me. But we're not doomed, we're just severely inconvenienced. So see you chaps next time.